Hello everyone. In this video we'll learn how to find the limit of a function, and we will learn about the limit law. So let's go through these limits. If I want to find a limit of two functions and in between them plus, then I can split the limit. I'm going to take limit of fx plus limit of gx. Now if we consider limit of fx as L, limit of gx is m, and both of them need to approach the same value, then the answer will be L plus m. Now that's going to be also when you subtract, so you can split the limit as well. Now when you have a constant, you can move it out of the limit, and when you have multiplication, you can split the limit as well. So limit of fx multiply of limit of gx. Same when you divide, you can split the limit, so it will be limit of fx over limit of gx. And when you have to the power, you can find the limit of x and then put the power. Same when you have a root. So we are going to learn how to use these limits when we start solving questions. So the first one, limit of negative x squared plus 5x minus 2 as x approaches 2. Best thing to do is to substitute x by 2. So limit, so it will be negative 2 squared plus 5 times 2 minus 2. That's going to be equal to 4. So basically it's just kind of very simple substitution. Now here we are going to also substitute, so it will be 2 times 2 plus 5 over 11 minus 2 squared. That's going to be 9 over 7. Now here, x minus 5 over x squared minus 25. If you try to substitute, you will get 5 minus 5 over 5 squared minus 25. 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 squared, which is 25, minus 25 is 0. Once you get the ratio 0 over 0, you need to stop and think about something else. What we are going to do here, we will try to factor. So we are going to factor the denominator. So x squared minus 25, this is the difference of two squares. So it will be x minus 5 by x plus 5. And then you can cross out the common factors. So limit x approach 5, 1 over x plus 5. And the stage you can substitute x by 5. And the answer is 1 over 10. Now what about this one here? Again, we are following the same steps. I'm going to start first by substituting x by negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. And here will be 9 minus 12 plus 3 is also 0. So 0 over 0, we need to factor. So limit x approach negative 3, x plus 3 over x plus 3, x plus 1. These two can cross out each other, common factors. So limit as x approach negative 3, 1 over x plus 1. And in this stage you can again substitute x by negative 3. That's your final answer, negative 1 over 2. Okay, for this question here, I can substitute y by 0, so that's going to be 5 times 0 is 0, plus 8 times 0 is 0, that's the numerator is 0. Same with the denominator, so it's 0 over 0, we need to factor, so limit. I can see that there is a common factor y squared, will be 5y plus 8, and same y squared down, 3y squared minus 16. Now these two will cross out each other, and you can now start thinking of substitution. 5 by 0 plus 8, 3, 0 squared minus 16. That's going to be 8 over negative 16, which is basically negative 1 over 2. In here, I'm going to substitute h by 0. Square root of 1 is 1 plus 1. That's going to be 3 over 2. We're done. Now about here, if you try to substitute, it will be 5 times 0 is 5. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 4, square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. And over 0. So we need to think about something else. In order to solve a question like this one, you need to think about multiplying by the conjugate, the numerator and denominator. So in this case, I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 5h plus 4 plus 2, the conjugate. You have to do this for the denominator as well. Now when you multiply by the conjugate, these two will be 5h plus 4, and then negative 2 by 2 is negative 4, and down h, multiply square root. Now these two will cross out each other, so the answer will be 5h over h. Now again, these two will cross out each other, and finally we can substitute h by 0. That's going to be 5 over square root 5 times 0 plus 4 plus 2. That's going to be equal 5 over 0. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 over 4. Now let's first try to substitute x by 9. So square root of 9 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. And the denominator, 9 minus 9, is also 0. So what we are going to do, we will multiply by the conjugate. That's because I have a square root. So square root of x plus a 3, square root of x plus a 3. Now limit. These two will be x, and these two will be negative 9 over x minus 9, square root of x plus 3. Now as you can see, these two can cross out each other. So it will be limit x approach 9, 1 over square root of x plus 3. Now you can substitute x by 9. That's going to be 1 over 6. Here, when you substitute x by 4, that's going to be 4 times 4 is 16. 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. Here, 2 minus square root of 2. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 2 again is 0. So we're going to think of multiplying by the conjugate. So limit, so x approached 4. Two times 2 is 4 minus x. Now as you can see, I can go here and take x as a common factor. And if I do that, these two will cross out each other. And what is left? Limit x approach 4, x times 2 plus square root of x. That's going to be equal to 4, 2 plus square root of 4, which is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So the answer will be 16. Now here, for this question here, I have x to the power of negative 1. So I need to work on this. So what does that mean? It means limit x approach to 1, 1 over x minus 1 over 1, x minus 1. I will add these two by multiplying the numerator and denominator by x. That's going to be equal limit 1 minus x over x, x minus 1, denominator. I can move this x down. So if you notice, these two are almost the same. The difference is the sign. So these two will cross out, but the answer is negative 1, not 1. Because x divided by negative x is negative 1. That's basically almost the same thing. So it will be limit x approach 1, negative 1 over x, which is equal negative 1 over 1, that's negative 1. So that's everything about today's lesson. Please let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.